This comic is based on the chat between a psychiatrist and a victim of Joker's heinous mental and physical torture. The story begins as the psychiatrist is telling his client Gary about his biggest fear as a child. He tells that his grandparents used to be hiders, using the hides of deer, rabbits, and cattle for bookbinding, gloves making, and many other goods. They gifted him a flower made of different hides, with each petal belonging to different skin. But instead of being happy and considering it a treasure, he was terrified of it. His brother once joked that this flower was made from the skin of humans, with each petal belonging to different human skin, and that one day it would come to his face too. Despite knowing that this was a joke, he couldn't get it off his mind. Was always afraid to touch it, even got beaten by his parents for throwing it into the toilet, and that was the most pleasurable whipping he ever took. The psychiatrist asks the victim, Gary, whether he understands what he's trying to say or not, but Gary is too preoccupied to answer in the first place. On asking again, Gary excuses and says that although he thought he could do it, but he can't. The psychiatrist tries to persuade him by telling him that he has treated many victims of Joker, and this is the most important step, then requests Gary to put on a special mask. Let the mask do its work and let it heal him. The doctor figures out that Gary doesn't want to heal because he's terrified that as soon as he got healed, the Joker would come for him again. So he tries to make him understand that this is what he, the Joker, does, but he is just a man who unintentionally hurt him, and he has to heal now. Gary tells him that he was always afraid of something happening to his smile and teeth, but that Joker did what he feared the most by distorting his smile and teeth. Gary was thinking that the Joker hurt him intentionally, but the psychiatrist convinces him that it wasn't personal, as the Joker had already sprayed gas while Gary, who is a corpseman, was doing his duty, and that the Joker didn't already know his name, but read it from his uniform at that particular instant. The doctor shares that he doesn't do this job for money, but has a grant from Wayne Foundation, and it does it because he believes in his work. He explains to him that the Joker is a genius who plays mind games and tricks on his victims by doing what they fear the most, and this is his biggest power, to make people believe that he is more than what he actually is. Then he gives him different examples. For instance, of a woman the Joker electrocuted with a hand buzzer, as she was always afraid of lightning, and of a boy the Joker made white and green, as he was always afraid of being the class clown. The doctor states that this is nothing but a card trick played by Joker, and tells him about the Joker card, a card which can take on any numerical value or can become anything it needs to be to win. He further says that the Joker has convinced his victims that he is the bearer of whatever their greatest fear is, while is merely the monster under the bed who mocks, brings the greatest fear of people to life, and laughs at them for ever thinking that they had escaped it. He knows what he is doing, and he is not a clown, but a very, very smart man who is good at pantomime, the art of one actor playing all the roles so well that unreal becomes real in one's eyes. Even the colors of his body have meaning. Purple is the color of rot, while green is the color of rebirth, as he dies and reborns as whatever fear he needs to be. He is the biggest psychological manipulator to ever exist. At last, the doctor tells Gary that people fear to heal, thinking that the Joker would come after them once again. But he, the doctor, has observed him closely when the Joker was brought to the hospital by Batman, and he is nothing but an ordinary man. He then requests Gary again to keep the mask on his face to heal, but Gary throws it on the ground saying that he would pay the doctor for the mask. Later on, when the doctor comes back home, he swears they would break the illusion by making the victims believe that this Joker is nothing but flesh and blood. And all of a sudden, he sees a flower made from hides near his bed. The flower he used to fear since childhood. And as he picks it up, it splashes some kind of acid solution over his face while the Joker is laughing under his bed, and tells the doctor that he'll be right there when he proves what he said earlier. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to this channel.